Yo, so Beyond the Drumlins. This is the brand new film from Daniel Bauer. Hold on for a second. Yep, here we go. He co-wrote with Michael Kowalski. It is produced by Nick Brandreth and executive produced by Mike Hedford. Right, Johnny Tomasalolo took care of the score. Mike Hedford is also behind the cinematography. We got Nick Brandreth as well as art direction. Hair and makeup is Cassandra Jackson. Special effects, we have Rashad Santiago, Dan and Glenn Teal take care of visual effects. What else do we have? Okay, so then it's the cast, right? So we have got Professor Jonathan Rust, played by Michael Kowalski. His intern, I guess, would be Cameron Burson, played by Emma Jessop. His friend and colleague Mary Boyd is played by Morgan DeTogne. His old friend Tanner Richards is played by Dan Titmuss. We have also got the Digger, right? Mike G played. Mike G, he plays Tom Cundy. Who else do we have? Oh, yes. Well, there's Sadie, played by Julia Kerr. Stephen, played by Bradford Selby. Magnus, played by Ed Contini. Margaret, played by Simone Boone. The EMT, played by Nick Brandreth. A couple of other EMTs played by Charles Petrazzulli, Lane Papura, and Ali Swanot. Christian Soto is David. And we got Rashad Santiago, Robert Kriegel, Lisa Kriegel, Cassandra Jackson, Mike Hedford, and Brian Burr as spirits. So the gist of the film: the leaves have started to change, but Professor Jonathan Rust is still woefully ill-prepared for the coming semester. With the help of a fellow professor, his teaching assistant, an old friend, and a hired hand, the team searches for a suitable dig site for the archaeological department's fieldwork course. The trip presents a rare opportunity for Jonathan to get his hands dirty, and success could mean publication and just maybe tenure. The expedition is quickly derailed when a member of the team mysteriously vanishes. The group finds themselves at the intersection of reality and the afterlife in a haunting descent into madness. Oh boy. So we first spoke to Daniel, Matt, back in 2023, right? For the Blue Hour, the disappearance of Nick Brandreth. And yeah, that was a really good film. That was interesting, right? So when I saw Daniel had a new joint coming, man, man, we're just like, yo, gotta take a look, gotta have a another conversation. So yeah, I was happy that we were able to get this done, but there is always that thing, right, where you're like, oh, how will the sophomore effort be? Right now, how many times your favorite artists and love the first album, second album's coming, and you're like, oh man, I cannot wait. You put it in, it's all right, but it just sounds like the first, right? There's always that trepidation. Now, luckily with this is not a rehash, a retread, a revisit. No, this is something fresh. This is something different. And oh man, it's really good and creepy as a motherfucker, right? Now we start off with this whole thing of this guy running through the woods, and you're a bit like, yo, what's going down? And yeah, this whole thing happens, and you're like, ooh. Now we do revisit this a bit later in the film, but it's not one of those ones where it's just like, oh, this is where we started, now this is where. No, it's within this kind of flashback, but we really see the whole thing, and it is, oh boy, it's gnarly, man. It really is. But so we have this, then we jump to Jonathan, as he's getting this expedition together, right? And I think one thing that you definitely do with this, you buy the interactions, you buy the group, you know? Like, there is a difference between Jonathan and Mary, right? And Cameron. Because Cameron's the TA. So there is that, there's that kind of idolization with her. You do wonder, is there anything happening here? You know? But then there's Mary, right? A colleague. And so it's all very different, you know? Like, even when you bring in Mike, right? Mike G's character, Tom Cundy, there is because, you know, Tom's a hired hand, right? He's not from academia. He's not a colleague. So there's that slight different kind of tone with that. And then you got when Tanner comes in, the old friend, right? It's a different language. You know what I mean? When you haven't seen an old friend for ages, and you bump in, but you can just pick up from where you last left off, right? We have that. So you really do buy into these interactions, the way people talk to each other and all of that stuff, you know? It's done very well, because when someone does go missing, right, you have to buy into the anxiety and like the different kind of, you know, some people are more worried than others. Some people are like, gotta be fine, we'll sort this out, right? But all of those kind of things you have to, you know, get, because it's slightly different inflections and tones and just all of this kind of thing, you know? So from that point of view, everything is good. Now, a big thing that always, because they've got a hike to try and find this dig. They're going through the woods and everything like that. And how many times have we seen films and people go on these kind of treks and things and they all look fine, right? No. So I was really happy to see that Daniel had thought about all of that, right? So they're looking, you know, messy and sweaty and, you know, dirty. There's been camping. There's no showers and baths and all of this, right? So all of these kind of things factor in, which help keep you in the story, right? That's always a big thing. You want to stay within the experience, right? You don't need anything kicking you out. And it doesn't, right? The ambient sound, like just all of the sounds, right? Of the forest and everything, right? The score, it all helps layer, right? Layer what is going on, right? Building up that atmosphere, that kind of, ooh, you know? It's all there, right? All the elements come together very well for this. And it's like, you know, they're trying to do this archaeological dig, and, you know, they find an arrowhead and all of this. And it's like, you do get that vibe, right, of these resonances. You know, like an arrowhead is anchored in this moment in time, right? And that is the big thing with this film. We kind of go out of flux, you know, right? Like slightly askew from the current reality, which is really interesting. Like there's these moments where certain characters get kind of trapped, right, within the purview of these weird monoliths. And oh, the way that is shown, right, the expression on their faces, it definitely makes you go, yo, what the fuck is wrong with them? You know what I mean? Because it feels like they have been transfixed. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, they're looking at a thing. It's just, no, they've been completely absorbed by it, right? It's just them and that. There's no one else there. You know? So that's like, boy. Oh, boy. Right? It's all there. Like, and then some of the weird conversations and all of this. It's all that, you know, our characters do a fantastic job of selling this thing, right? Of making you believe in the experience, in this kind of seismic possession that is going on. You know, it's kind of like this slow burn affair, right? It feels like, you know, the I forget the name of it, but essentially the roots of a tree. You know what I mean? Like on the surface, you think a tree is just this one thing, right? It can be tall and magnificent, but it's just in this one spot. But the roots go so far. And that's this film, man. It's like, at first you kind of think, okay, is it this? And then you realize it's just been building into this other thing. Right? Just under the surface. It's just been building and it's become this different ecosystem, which is, just fascinating. You know? Fascinating. It's a slow burn, but it keeps you engaged. It keeps you thinking. And then after, you know, once it's all said and done, you're still kind of like, oh, but what does this mean? Right? What does this mean for these people and the, you know, everything else? Like, yeah, it is definitely something that will sit with you and give you pause. right? Give you pause, because when you just think about all the different weird things that you might see, you know, when you go walking in nature and like these big forests and places and things like that, right? What could these, you know, items, these relics of the past, what could they actually do? Right? What power might lie inside? Right? How truly dangerous is something like Stonehenge? You feel me? So yeah, it just makes you wonder about these things, right? Which is, I mean, it's great because it's not just like, oh, well, that's all that, right? You're thinking, you're wondering, right? You're questioning reality. So yeah, that is Beyond the Drumlins, and yeah, it's different to the Blue Hour, right? And you do see this evolution, you see this progression that you know, Bowhers has taken in his filmmaking, but it's still, right, that engaging, interesting piece. So if you liked his first film, yeah, you're definitely going to want to give this a look, right? I mean, if you like those twisty, turny kind of, you know what I mean, things, right? Oh, I mean, trying to think of something this is kind of similar to. God damn it, my mind has gone completely blank. But it's very engaging, people, right? It is very, very engaging, right? Has you thinking, has you wondering. Definitely moments that will kind of freak you out, right? And ooh, there's some other visceral moments as well, people. Trust me, right? That, oh, when it happens, you're like, God damn. God damn. Like, and I think that is the big thing, right? Sometimes you know, you can watch something and you go, okay, I know this is going to happen. Right, and there are a couple of moments where you go, okay, I know what's going down next. But what really fucks you with this is it's the when, right? Like a lot of times you're like, okay, so it's not gonna happen now, it's not gonna happen then. Oh, it just coming up, and you know, right? With this, you have no fucking clue, right? You can go, okay, I think we're gonna have to go here, and then all of a sudden you're like, yo, what are they doing? You know what I mean? And that's great. That's fucking great, man. So yeah, people definitely want to give this one a look. I'm not quite sure where it's playing at. I don't think it's actually released yet, but all the information will be on the webpage for this episode. So if yeah, you like that, you know what I mean, it's kind of like X-Files, Fringe as a TV show kind of thing. You know, there's a couple of reference points. If you enjoyed those, then I think you will dig this. Right? Probably a Twin Peaksy type of affair, you know? So if that's your bag, then yeah, definitely check this out. The acting is great, right? The sound, the cinematography, have some great angles, right? Great ways to keep you in the moment, right? The way we draw the focus to a character and then we might switch it, right? And it's just these little tricks that they employ, which is very engaging. So yes, people, I highly recommend it. If you see it playing near you, right, go give it a look. Beyond the Drumlins.